And that's why, to this day, it slightly leans to the left.
Oh, wow.
So.
Oh, hey!
Hey, everybody!
What's going on? Welcome to this little live cam podcast thing we got going on here. I'm Paulguy.
I am Markman.
And we are here to talk about stuff.
So, we're a video game channel, and obviously everyone has their favorite video games. They could be very well known. They could be not very well known. We're going to do a little bit of a list of some possible hidden gems that you may not have heard of that we personally enjoy. I'm going to let my man Paulguy here start off the list.
And just to kind of clarify, it's like what we're basing our little lists on is stuff that people don't really talk about much, you know, whether it's because the game is really good or whether a game is really bad. Games get talked about a lot. So in our minds, there are some games that we don't even really hear whispers of anymore that we figured are like, you know, these games are pretty good. You know, I don't know why people don't still keep talking them and stuff like that. So we're kind of bringing some of those to light, and hopefully you guys will enjoy hearing us rant and rave about
some are new, some are old, some are ancient. Let's get to the list.
Let's do it. All right, so I guess, okay, I'll start it off here. One game that I feel that a lot of people don't talk about, and it was definitely popular in its heyday, is NBA Street Volume 2. And if you know me in personal life, well, I feel sorry for you. But you also know that I don't really do sports games too much. However, I feel as though that NBA Street Volume 2 is like the perfect blend of like sport and just like, I don't want to say like fantasy, but like
it's arcade style meets real style.
That's the term I'm looking for. It's arcadey style, like very outlandish type of sports game. But you know, it has like all the real sports NBA players of the day and NBA players of the past thrown in, as well as like made up characters specifically for the game. The best part, there's like different challenges and everything like that. It's, you know, typical like, you know, work your way up the ladder type stuff. But I think the best draw for this kind of game is the create your own character and kind of going on your own adventure. Like you start off with the person you made with your own individual stats, and the more you play, the better your guy's getting, and you're essentially assembling a team. And you're working your way through these different levels, and then you're grabbing different players as you progress through the game. So then you get like these key guys, and then you just get like, you pretty much try and get the best team possible. And a lot of the people that's provided are all these made up characters specifically, you know, for this type of game. Like they're not any known like NBA players or like, you know, superstars who are also in there that you do run into. But just the focal point of the game isn't just about, you know, just one team versus one team and just go at it. Like there's that building mode in there that I think is really, really cool about the game. And then, you know, I mean, for a guy like me who doesn't really do sports games too often, it says a lot when a sports game like that can really grab your attention.
Yeah.
And it's just real fun, you know. I mean, NBA Street Volume, well, not really Volume 1, but just the first NBA Street set the bar, but Volume 2 I think has it down like perfectly. So
it's a great A slam dunk.
It definitely is.
Do you remember like some of like the special moves you can do, like off the heezy, like when you bounce it off the?
Oh yeah, you bounce it off of their head. You can bounce it off the backboards. Like there's different tricks you could learn and customize your characters with. There's like the alley-oop dunks that, you know, you see someone just fly up there getting ready for the dunk. You just boop, pass up there, and you could do it twice if you have both of your other players, because it's a 3-on-3. So like you get up to the net, one guy's going up for the oop, and then another guy's going up for the oop at the same time. So it's like pass, slam, super mega points, and it's really cool.
Mega points.
And then there's like the ones where it's like you oop it to yourself by bouncing to the backboard and you do like the slow motion, like whoa, backwards dunk or everything, or whatever it is like that. The only thing is, I wish they would have incorporated like the mid-air somersault dunks from like NBA Jam.
Yeah.
I think that would have been the icing on
900.
the cake. Still,
McTwister
that little bit aside, it's a really cool game, and I don't hear it talked about anymore. You know, I think it's a classic game. But it's really, like, the word of it doesn't circulate. Like, after Volume 2, they came out with, like, these different, like, variants. Like, there was a Volume 3, and then just, I don't know, like, NBA Ballers or something like that. Like, just, like, And it just didn't seem to capture the same like arcadey feel, just the same video gamey feel that like Volume 2 had. Like it just didn't. It like escaped from like the innocent type feel that Volume 2 like perfected, I feel. But it's definitely a game that I recommend, and it's like a gem, a hidden gem.
A hidden gem. Now this is a perfect segue because my first game I'm also going to do is a sports game as well. The game is NHL Hits Pro. It's for the PS2, the GameCube, and I want to say the original Xbox, but I'm not sure. So in the early 2000s, there was the NHL Hits series, which is pretty much an extension of the NBA Jam or the NFL Blitz series. They're all made by Midway Sports, and it takes all the cool, crazy, fast-paced hockey shenanigans and just throws a little bit or a lot of bit of arcade style into it. The first two were just like NBA Street. It was 3-on-3. But NHL Hits Pro is different, where it's more of a real simulation type game, but it still has all the fun arcade bits and bobs thrown in. So it's 5-on-5. They're still being on fire when your opponent gets a penalty. There's still crazy hits. You can still bash people through the glass. It's so fun, so frenetic, and so just it's the perfect blend of arcade action and like real simulation that if you're a fan of hockey, you're gonna love it. If you're just a fan of crazy, just arcade sport shenanigans, you're gonna love it too. All the teams are on it. You can make your own team and kind of do the same thing with NBA Street. NBA Street, where you travel around from city to city with your own players that you make. You face off against actual teams, and then once you do that, your team will actually join the NHL, and you can actually go through a season mode. The game's great, highly recommended. GameCube, PS2, Xbox, maybe, I don't care. Who has the Xbox? Xbox is Dumbo, okay? So with that being said, we're gonna go to our second games. I'll start again. We'll take a snake.
Okay.
NHL Hits Pro, super good. That was for the GameCube. I'm gonna go just one generation back to the PS3. This game, we've honestly been trying to do a Let's Play of this for 3 or 4 years. I still have footage that we just never showed, but it's a 3D Dot Game Hero.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's for the PS3 only. I don't remember who makes it. Pardon me. I'll show it somewhere. Don't forget, okay? I'm sorry.
God.
So anyway, yeah. So 3D Dot Game Hero is a kind of like a top-down RPG-esque game that's very reminiscent of like the original Zelda. It's technically like 2D sprites, but it's like voxel based, so they look 3D. You can actually, if you choose and take your time, you can actually make your own voxel model to use in the game. I've never did that, but I did see some like videos or some tutorials, and some people make really sweet looking things. The game is it's so fun. It's just like the old Zelda. You go into the ruins, you face these giant voxel-based bosses. You collect, boomerangs and giant swords.
It's very like reminiscent to like. It definitely takes things from like Zelda, as far as like a top-down adventure and everything like that. So a lot of elements are there, but just the way that it looks, it's a more pop-out 3D effect and everything.
So good. Even for like this game, I've never heard anyone really talk about it that much. The game is so fun. If you love action RPGs, if you love Zelda, if you just love old school action RPG-esque games even, highly recommended. A lot of fun. They don't take itself too serious, so it's nothing too over the top. Highly recommended.
We might get to it at some point. Who knows?
Probably not, but who knows? All right, Paul, what is your second game?
On that
That's a hidden gem.
Yeah, right. One game that I'm surprised isn't talked about just because it's awesome, is Mario Superstar Baseball for the GameCube. Yeah, I mean, Mario has like no shortage of video games and side games like this and everything. You know, you got typical Mario Party, Mario Kart, which everybody knows about, but then there's like these other ones that aren't really known too much, maybe selectively, but you got like Mario Tennis, Mario Golf. They have Mario Basketball for the DS,
3DS, yeah.
And then there's Mario Baseball. And this game is a lot of fun. It's granted, it's not like a hugely in-depth game, but it's like perfectly polished. You know, it's very competent for sure, and like it has like that Mario charm to it. It's a very functional baseball-esque game, but yeah, that little bits of Mario shenanigans that go on in there. Mark and I actually do have a couple of matches up on the channel, which, you know, you could click on this box or that box or just in the links below. I don't know, below the video. I don't know, wherever we decide to put it. But the thing is that it's a Mario game, so you know what to expect as far as like the play-hearted, like the lightly, like the words today, man. Like it's very light-hearted, you know, and just what you would expect from a Mario game, just like. But also, it has its moments of infuriation. It's definitely a friendship
It's a
tester.
Mario. It's a Mario game. Any multiplayer Mario game
It's a
is
friend
going
test.
to test your friendship.
It really is. But it's just a game that always seems to like go under the radar, you know. Like when people always concentrate on the Mario Kart and Mario Party. I even hear Mario Golf get more recognition than
that's
Mario
weird to me.
Baseball. But it's really a lot of fun, and like how you're able to customize your entire team, and each person has like their own strengths and weaknesses. Like it's very customizable, like for your team. So
It's deep.
there's a level of deepness, but it's not so overly complicated. You know, like anyone can pick that up, really. So that I think it's a good gem. That like if you are a fan of Mario games, outside of like the main series Mario games, pick up Mario Baseball.
owe it to yourself.
I strongly recommend this one, especially if you're a Mario fan. Definitely.
Definitely.
110%.
10 out of 10 will buy every single time I see. I don't care how many copies I have, I'm buying it. Stimulate the economy. You want to do your last one?
All right. Yep. Continue the serpentine. So,
Here.
besides RPGs, as like my favorite, like vocal favorite genre of video games, probably the next best one for me is fighting games. And you know, you got your staples like Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat. You know, like the ones that everyone knows about. One particular fighting series that's gone dormant and no one has ever actually mentioned it, as far as like I hear, as far as oldies but goodies, is the Bloody Roar series.
So good.
Mark and I's favorite, specifically say would be Primal Fury for the GameCube. It's like it's a 3D fighting game where like your characters sort of transform, not sort of transform, they actually transform into like beast people, like half man, half beast type forms, and you know, you got like the whole 3D space. It's just, you know, there's not much to say about a fighting game, but just the way it's stylized around these people transforming into like these beast forms and pulling off like all these ridiculous combos. It's just high action and really fun to play. And again, it's a game that no one really mentions. Like, it's not such a bad fighting game that, you know, people just note it for its bad, you know, for how terrible it is. But it just doesn't, like, all the praise.
one talks
There's
about
no praise said about it because I think it's a fantastic game. You know, it's something that it's a forgotten series that I don't think needs to be forgotten. Like, it's something that should be in people's minds for sure. And it's another recommendation for sure.
Who was your favorite fighter in Bloody Roar?
It depends.
Okay.
I do like Yugo, who was like the Wolfman. The Wolfman. I definitely liked it. There is another video that Mark and I done where we faced each other and had some great times with Primal Fury. But yeah, I like Yugo, the Wolf guy, and just because ticked everyone else off. And back in the day, I picked Alice, the bunny rabbit girl, and I've done my fair share of holding my own with her. I'm trying to remember what yours was.
I was Cheon, the unknown. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I think it was that. It was like a alien, like
weird praying mantis looking thing. There was
Koryu.
Koryu. He was the robot mole, right?
Yeah, because there was Koryu, which is like the regular mole guy, but then there was like a different variant of him, and it's like a mecha mole. And
he was so broken. His like ultimate, he did a backflip into the ground, and then no matter if you were on the ground, like your opponent on the ground, he was gonna get hit, and he was gonna get blasted with hundreds and hundreds of missiles. It was so broken, but it's so fun.
It is. It's definitely broken. Yeah, it's just amazing to me that no one ever talks about it, because definitely for its time it was.
If you're a fan of Tekken or any type of 3D like open space fighters, Bloody Roar Primal Fury is definitely a game you should check out. And then there's another perfect segue. Mine's not a traditional fighting game in the sense, but technically it is a fighting game. It's a wrestling game. And this game actually came out fairly recently. I think it came out in July. It's Fire Pro Wrestling World. Right now, it's just out on Steam, and then it will have a PS4 release sometime. I have no idea when. I feel like it's a hidden gem, though, just because of how deep this wrestling game is. So it's not licensed by any actual wrestling company or federation or whatever they're called these days. So all the people that are in the game are just completely made up. But the best thing about this game is you can create your own characters, you can create your own rings, anything you can think of. It's fully customizable. Since it's through Steam, you can use the Steam Workshop to download like wrestlers, rings, like all the way down to the apron, like logos. The game is so deep, so fun. One of the best wrestling like series in my opinion, because they had a couple for the PS2 and I think in the PS.
Well, on the eShop.
And the eShop, yeah,
or
the PlayStation
Network.
Yes, the game it's I can't recommend it enough. Only because the level of everything you can do. I have like close to 100 like downloaded wrestlers. I made my own wrestling like ring. I have a stat sheet on an Excel sheet, and I keep track of everything. I go hardcore in this game. Like I keep track of everyone's wins and losses, and there's even mods you can actually download for the game. They'll do it for you. The game, if you're in any bit, a little bit of wrestling fan, and you love wrestling games, I highly recommend this game. The only thing you have to get through is, the graphics aren't that great. It is a 2D wrestling game, but I think they had to do that just because of so much customization that it wouldn't be able to do all that if it was in a 3D engine. But regardless, the game is great. I know I showed Paul a little bit of it. He was really cool. He really enjoyed it. He actually has some of the Fire Pro games on the PS2. We both know how good it is.
It's not even just so much the customization as well. Like one of the things that's like toply rated about Fire Pro Wrestling really is like the mechanics of it. It's like one of the few games that like even if you don't even want to play, like physically play it, you can set up matches and watch them, and like the progression of the matches is very well done, like very close to like how you would watch like a professional wrestling matchup, where everything starts off slow but then it builds up to these big and bigger moves, just like the action curve of like a regular wrestling match, and it's something that development wise that's a very good, nice touch
For sure.
I'm not sure if like any other game can really come close.
I can't even think of one, because I'm thinking of like the 2K games. You can start off slow, but there's a way to, you can just run at your opponent in the beginning and do a big move and whatever. The game's so fun. If you're a fan of wrestling like me and Paul, you're going to want to buy it. If you don't have a PC, wait a couple months. It will be on the PS4 sooner than later. But with all that being said, those are some hidden gems that are old, new, very old. Any final thoughts, Paul?
We just really wanted to bring these games out to light because, Mark and I still enjoy them enough, and we don't really hear too much of other people's enjoyment or involvement with them at all. So we just wanted to take some games that we feel like deserve more credit and more recognition and just kind of project them out there, and maybe even just, get some people curious about them and just to check them out. And then you never know, you might find something that you never thought you would like before.
You might find something new that you like.
Exactly. So that's really the whole purpose of this right here. So we hope that we've enlightened some of you.
We hope you find a new favorite game. My name is Markman.
And I'm Paulguy.
And we will see you guys soon.
Take it easy.